Welcome to WTDC-25, the World's Telecommunication Development Conference being held in Baku in Azerbaijan. And I'm very pleased to be joined in the studio today by H.E.Tatenda Annastacia Mavetera, who is the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services for Zimbabwe. H.E.Tatenda, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Max. I really want to thank you for this great opportunity.
Now, I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about the theme of WTDC-25 is universal, meaningful and affordable connectivity for an inclusive and sustainable digital future. What does that mean for Zimbabwe?
Good, thank you very much. Universal access, affordable for the digital future. And that speaks a lot to what we're doing as Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, we have a national vision, which has been prescribed by our President, His Excellency Dr. Mnangagwa, where we are saying we want to have access to all. We are also speaking into digital access, leaving no one in no place behind. Affordable access. We're also talking about a digital future, meaning that we're talking about digital transformation. And this resonates well with our national vision of a digitalized Zimbabwe by 2030. As Zimbabwe, we really have worked quite a lot towards making sure that we bridge the digital divide, making sure that we've got access in the rural and also in the urban areas. This has to be done by making sure that we expand on broadband expansion, where we're even having a tower relocation program, where there are a lot of towers, we can then be able to relocate them to areas where there are no towers. We are also looking at even enhancing our national backbone, where we have seen the expansion of our fiber in Zimbabwe. I'll tell you, we have got fiber which has got plus or minus 130,000 square kilometers in Zimbabwe, and that already is more than 50%. So already we are talking about 50% coverage. As Zimbabwe, we're also talking about internet penetration, which has gone to about 83.4%, and also on mobile penetration we are above 102%.
Over 100%, exactly, yes.
102%.
Yeah.
And as Zimbabwe, we are also looking at making sure that we come up with initiatives around digital skills development, where now we have got a 1.5 million coding program, where we are training our young people to become coders. Right now, this is the future. The future needs us to equip our young people for the future. So we're looking at this program. We've got a digital ambassadors program where we have identified 100 young people who train others. It's not we train the trainer, it's a train the trainer program where we have already started training them so that at least they can go down there at district level, training everyone in digital skills. We have got a mobile digital track, which we want to make sure that it becomes inclusive. It's a mobile laboratory, computer laboratory, which goes and trains people, even in coding and all that. And these are initiatives that we thought are quite important. We've got innovation hubs, digital centers, which everyone has got access to. So we really think that we need to be prepared for the future by making sure that we've got universal access. We want it to be affordable. On affordability, yes, that's the million-dollar question that we're working really towards as a country. We are happy that our president has even prescribed us making sure that each and every sector reduces levies and fees. And this is a national thrust that we're hoping that we'll be able to see us reducing even taxes for our sector, so that at least we'll have more people very much having an environment which allows them to even get that money which they're supposed to pay for tax to be able to also reinvest in the sector. And we believe that there's quite a lot that we need to do in terms of tools development. We are assembling our own tools in Zimbabwe. We have got companies that have already started doing that. Even our universities are also making their own gadgets. They are even constructing their own gadgets in terms of making sure that they've got our own tablets, our own laptops. We're assembling in Zimbabwe. Yes, hopefully we'll be able to also work towards us having a manufacturing plant which is specific to that. And lastly, let me also speak about cybersecurity. As a country, there's never a time we can speak about the digital landscape without securitizing it. So we're looking at ways. We have come up with the Cyber and Data Protection Act, and from there we then went on to even establish a SET and also a Security Operations Center, which also monitors threat intelligence, therefore. And also as Zimbabwe, we're also training our young people into cybersecurity. For us to be ready for the future, we need to equip the people. For us to be ready for the future, we need to look at digital infrastructure, making sure that we work towards upgrading our data centers. We also work towards having hubs which speaking to the young people, for them to innovate as much as they can, for them to contribute towards startups. In that way, I'm sure we'll be ready for the future in line with the WTDC theme of this year.
Now, you mentioned a number of very important details there, but I wanted to ask you, what role do emerging technologies play in Zimbabwe's strategy? AI, for example, data analytics, smart solutions.
Yes, now with the coming of AI, we are glad as Zimbabwe we now have an AI strategy. And what we have done is that we have realized that for us to really work towards us fully adopting artificial intelligence, we also need to work towards having an e-government infrastructure which is quite robust. And we have introduced an enterprise architecture modeling, which we are happy that now we are going to digitize our government services. So for us to digitize our government services, we cannot speak about that without talking about AI. So AI, again, we need to upskill. We need to reskill our workforce, and we've been doing it, doing AI trainings, and this is going to really assist us. If ever we're going to adopt artificial intelligence, our services are going to be more efficient than ever. We can also be able to speaking about corruption. It will be a thing of the past, because now everything is efficient, and that alone can really assist us. And as Zimbabwe, we have really been doing this quite well. We are happy that we have even come up with programs that are going to make sure that everyone, it's an inclusive agenda which speaks into our own cultural norms and values as Zimbabwe. We came up with the readiness assessment methodology report, which we work together with various institutions under ITU, and especially the UN agencies. They really assisted us to be able to come up with that assessment report as we came up with our artificial intelligence strategy. So we believe that us being able to adopt an artificial intelligence which is skewed towards Zimbabwe is very important. And again, we don't need to be an AI, for us to be an AI consumer. Let's be an AI producer. So we believe that Zimbabwe is a place where we're going to invest greatly even in the development of AI software, development of even AI hardware. That is what we see ourselves as. We want to be a regional hub as Zimbabwe, a regional hub of artificial intelligence. We want to make sure that at least we'll use AI for precision agriculture. We're going to use AI for all our sectors of the economy, be it manufacturing, be it tourism, agriculture, mining. Now the coming of 5G, others are even talking about 6G now. So that alone can only be done if we're going to really look at how we're going to leverage from the coming of artificial intelligence. And now even in terms of education, I'll tell you, my son will tell you, Mom, I've finished my homework in 5 minutes. You ask him, how have you done that? He'll tell you, look, I've been able to do that. I use ChatGPT, I use DeepSeek, all these platforms. So this is what AI is bringing for us. And as Zimbabwe, we are not left behind. And we're saying to ourselves, even in terms of education, let's see how we can leverage on it. Even in terms of mining, how can we make our services more efficient? And as government, we are saying on our e-government services, this we have to do. We are working on a platform as Zimbabwe, an AI-powered platform, where we want to make sure that all government services would then be able to be accessible. And even in terms of our monitoring systems, surveillance systems, we are adopting AI cameras that we have been able to do as a country. And this really has to be done by us being clear. And our President, His Excellency Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, is clear. Let's adopt the use of AI. Let's look at blockchain. Let's look at quantum computing. And at national level, we have even worked together with all our key ministries, be it the primary and secondary education, where we are introducing artificial intelligence training at as early as 5 years old. And even in terms of us introducing all these subjects and all these courses for even our tertiary institutions, we are doing that. So this has to be the conversation. Let's adopt. This is a revolution. We are in a revolution which we all need to be prepared for. But if you do not adopt it, you catch a cold. So as far as we're concerned as Zimbabwe, we are ready. And as Zimbabwe, we are very much raring to say this is an opportunity for us to make sure that we go up there and we shine, and we are able to adopt all technologies just like any other country.
You mentioned the Digital Ambassadors Program. I'm curious to know, how does that work in practice?
Good. We have 10 provinces in Zimbabwe, and these are just geographical demarcations of the whole country. So of the 10 provinces that we have identified people in each province, meaning that already is decentralization. It's not in one place. So we have trained these young people on the key basic digital skills. And we've even gone a step forward on also training them on artificial intelligence, data analytics, data science, so that at least from there they'll be able to train our young people on how they can be able to understand all this. But it's not only to the young people. No. Because we've got an inclusive agenda in our country, we're looking at people even with disability, we're looking at women, we're looking at youth. We need to be able to get them to train. So it's a result-based system, whereby if you're going to train more, you can also be remunerated as such. And therefore, we've also looked at these young people, equipping them with basic digital skills. They go in our digital centers, they train people, they get young people, training them, women, the men. They go in those areas, and then we start training them.
What about the older population?
The older population, yes, we are also free. Everyone can access these digital skills. And again, we also have got a program which we have partnered with the UAE, which we're calling the 1.5 million coding program. Okay. And this 1.5 million coding program is very clear. It's a self-taught. You just get onto the platform, our platform that we've created, and then you can then be trained in AI fundamentals, Android fundamentals, data science, all that. You're trained in that. But because sometimes you don't have anyone to ask, and sometimes we have become difficult. So you then be able to go to the digital ambassador. They assist you because they've gone through all these courses we are offering on our 1.5 million coding program. So they'll be able to also capacitate these people and make them understand better. And in that way, that's also a way that will make sure that we motivate these people to be able to get involved in these programs.
H.E.Tatenda Annastacia Mavetera, Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services for Zimbabwe. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio today. Very glad that you managed to come here and share some very valuable insights into what's happening in Zimbabwe.
Thank you.
We look forward to catching up with you again very soon.
Thank you, Max. Thank you for the opportunity. We're grateful. Hope people will be able to also understand the Zimbabwean story.
Well, I'm sure they will now. Thank you very much indeed. If you've enjoyed this interview, which I'm sure you will have, do check out our other interviews on our YouTube channel, as well as our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. And for further information, visit our website at www.itu.int/WTDC-25. Thanks for tuning in.